Good morning. Jolly goodness, dear subscribers. What an amazing day. And what do you mean? It is because of this ineffable movie, The Crown. The Crown. So sit back as we pick wonderful expressions and words from the storyline of the third review of this movie. Princess Margaret and her sister, the primogeniture of the family, talking about Queen Elizabeth. They both had a wonderful time together before she got married to Prince Philip, the Duke of Edinburgh. After the marriage, Queen Elizabeth traveled together with her husband to Zimbabwe in Africa. 2 days upon her arrival in Zimbabwe, she, rece- she received a phone call from the palace about the passing of her father. It was a difficult time for her to navigate. She cried bitterly. When she got to England, she was crowned the Queen of England. Her mother was alive, Queen Mary, supported her, guided her, and also Princess Margaret. After some years, Britain experienced a difficult time, almost bankrupt, and needed a bailout. It was a difficult time for the United States of America as well, because the president then, President Kennedy, was shot. Then the vice president, President Johnson, became the president of the United States of America. So the Queen invited him, but he refused because he was afraid to travel then. So later, Queen Elizabeth wrote a letter to Princess Margaret to help negotiate with the United States of America for a bailout. At first, Princess Margaret refused. Later, Queen Elizabeth begged her and told her the importance of this letter and the current situation happening in Britain because she was away. Princess Margaret accepted and decided to travel to the United States. Upon her arrival in the United States of America, a state banquet dinner was organized in honor of Princess Margaret. She dazzled, she danced with the president, jokes upon jokes, limericks. It was amazing. Queen Elizabeth begged Princess Margaret not to be precipitous in a manner, but she refused to listen to her sister because she loves to do things her own way, because she was the opposite of Queen Elizabeth. And even her mother, Queen Mary, was not so happy with Princess Margaret because she was not civil in conduct. Well, she got what United Kingdom wanted. It was a bailout. She achieved diplomacy with dancing and drinking. It was like even Queen Elizabeth was surprised. So upon her arrival in the United Kingdom, she was received with praise, flattery, a wonderful time For Britain, they clapped for, oh, the dazzling princess. Wow, amazing. Then she had a conversation with her sister, Queen Elizabeth, about sharing the royal duties together with her because she was successful in the United States of America. Like, okay, let us share the royal duties together. But the British law forbade sharing of the royal duties. Princess Margaret was not happy because she was lonely. She was just living in the castle. She was not working, no royal duties upon her shoulders. She felt lonely. She started smoking and drinking. Most times felt bitter about her life. So it was a painful time for Queen Elizabeth because she wanted to do so, but the British law forbade sharing of the royal duties. But it was also difficult for Princess Margaret to understand Queen Elizabeth. They fought and quarreled over this, but later they resolved this matter. Queen Elizabeth, she was reliable, dependable, and predictable. Why? Princess Margaret, she was instinctive, dazzling, spontaneous in a manner. She was not someone to reckon with when it comes to fashion. She dazzled a lot. Even Queen Elizabeth felt jealous that her sister is entirely different from her because most times she outshined her in terms of dressing. So the mother, Queen Mary, had to intervene and have a conversation with both sisters. Okay, that this is your sister, Queen Elizabeth. She's the sovereign of the country. You have to respect her. You have to talk to her in a manner that is civil. But Princess Margaret was like the tyrant's sister. She loves to do things her own way. Well, if I'm to pick from the story of what happened between both sisters, is that we're not the same. So even though born of the same parents, Elizabeth, she was the primogeniture of the family, but she was civil in manner of conduct, while Margaret, entirely different from her sister. It was painful for her mom because she wanted Margaret to behave like Elizabeth, but no, no. So most times parents they often struggle with this because like they want like they have two boys, they want like the boy, the first boy is doing so good, they want the second boy to copy it. No, no, we are not the same. Even though from the same family, we have different traits, we have different behaviors. But it's good to be civil, but proper understanding helps in this kind of situation. So forcing a particular child to behave like the other ones can lead to a life of frustration and depression for the other one because the other child is trying to navigate through his own way, but the other one's just like, oh, okay, I just okay, anything I do, I'm not accepted always because my mom wants me to behave like my elder brother or my junior brother. So yes, parents, I accept and I agree that we have to guide and correct our kids when they do what we don't like, but know that they're unique. They're not the same. So let them live their own lives and let just guide. So trying to force a particular trait on the child is not really good because Queen Mary struggled with this. So, if you look at the movie, The Crown, from the storyline, Elizabeth did well, even though she struggled at the beginning. But later, she got used to the style, the way to rule as a leader, and she was there for 70 years. Look, imagine that for a lady, for a lady. So, kudos to Queen Elizabeth. See you in the next edition and have a wonderful day.